streaming. There we go. All right. So, the last time we left off, you guys had gotten uh, gotten into the Smetic Heights, which is the well-to-do area in Stillmore. Uh, Walking around there, you kind of went your separate ways, looking for more information. Serum and Therion and Yenir actually went to various stores to try and gather more information about what happened, eventually making their way back to the Enchantress's Curse. Um, Kaiba and Tonberry went around looking for armaments, and they found themselves a smithy who, an enchanter who commissioned a great axe for Kaiba. Uh, the Afterwards, they went to a bar to to go get a drink, and things went horribly wrong. They killed the barkeep and were found out by some guards and captured and taken to prison. Uh, while in prison, they attempted a glorious escape, which resulted in Kaiba being strung up in metal chains and Tonberry beaten to an inch of his life, with the rest of the party approaching the Lawmaster's building, with Eldar standing outside, waiting for you guys as you approach. Oh, it took you long enough. It seems he was expecting you guys.
Do we know him?
Yeah, so this is the Lawmaster who originally gave you the um, quest to go hunt down some goblin ears for him. So this is Eldar Blazing Brand. He's a short dwarf in heavy plate armor. He's got brown hair. Stands about 3-ish, 4-ish feet tall. Um, and he's waiting for you outside, standing with a guard on either side of him, who kind of each of them tower over him.
Oh, I don't know him.
You don't know him.
Someone's up.
Actually,
Emma, you're up.
so
I'm in prison.
he's inside. Yeah. So right now it is
Shit.
Therion, Yenir, and Guthrak are all walking up to this Lawmaster. You see Kaiba strung up in chains on the left-hand side here. It's probably just a little bit after dusk here. So what do you guys want to do?
Someone should probably talk to Eldar.
Well, I personally don't know him, so...
We're together, I think.
Yeah, but did they lead us here, or did we come here ourselves?
We came here ourselves.
Oh.
So, who knows at Eldar?
Not me. I think Abby and Charles are the ones who know him.
I mean, we met him.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You remember him at the tax office? No, you don't. Or the DND.
But we did we did the goblin quest thing for him.
Here's some goblin ears.
You took it, and yeah. So how many goblin ears do you have, if I remember right? Good. So how many goblin ears do you have? Do you think you have?
Crap, who was taking notes? Was that me? Uh-oh.
So
Technical difficulties, please hold on.
Okay.
Let me flip through my notes.
So you guys walk up to him and you say, "Hey, here's some goblin ears," and you hand him a bag. And he looks through it, and let's see if he notices.
I have 3 bugbear ears in my inventory.
I think we have 6 goblin ears. So not enough. But I don't know this is Woodrick.
You guys had them all. If I remember right, you had them all in the same bag. Like, you had them all in the same
so
satchel.
We got 7 good bugbear ears and 2 mangled ears, bugbears, and 2 good goblin ears and 3 mangled goblin ears.
5.
Those were sets, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So he looks in and he goes, "Huh. All right. Well, you've completed the one task, but come in. I've got questions about your group here."
Uh-oh.
And he gestures for you guys to come inside. And at this point, a few of the other guards are kind of not closing in, but you've got their attention.
Abby, go south.
I mean,
Well, I guess I'm following too.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Please. Okay. Yes, I will too. Go.
What are you doing?
Mhm.
What are you doing, Abby?
Are they leaving somewhere?
They're gesturing, or sorry, Eldar is gesturing for you to follow him into the Lawmaster's building.
All right, I'll go.
So all of you guys are making your way in now.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're cooperating.
Okay. So
Don't
you
have a problem, yeah.
you make your way in, and he takes you to the back of the hall where his table is set up, and you can see there's a map still there. He's got books laid out. It looks like he's drawing up some plans. You can see the Setian Isles. There looks to be some figures on there. He throws the bag on the table, and it is. It's been with you for a day, roughly. So the decomposition
Yeah.
process has kind of started. So they stink and they are bloody. So
Ew.
he kind of just tosses it on the table, and like you can watch the bag just kind of.
Delicious.
Is it leaking?
It's soppy, yeah.
Excellent.
And he kind of leans back in his chair and he goes, "All right. So I got 1 ears strung up outside. I got another one in the keep. And I got one that went and attacked the goddamn lord of the city. Now, if you want to leave here alive, you tell me why the fuck I shouldn't arrest you."
Isn't he supposed to have a Scottish accent?
He is. I'm being lazy.
What did the one outside get up? What happened there?
He...
I'm asking the lawmaster, not like out of. Not
Okay, gotcha.
Out of character, like in character asking.
He tried to escape. He is sentenced to probably at least a lifetime for killing an innkeep, a bartender, and resisting arrest. The other one is just an accomplice, so maybe 2 weeks in the hole.
Killed the barkeep.
Killed a barkeep. The blue one outside. He killed a barkeep.
Oh.
First we know about this.
I whisper to somebody who's close by that isn't the guy that just talked. So is the guy outside? Is that somebody we know, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna go head back outside and like stand guard to make sure that nothing happens to the guy.
I mean, I don't think. Okay.
I think Kaiba will be fine. He needs to sleep. He needs to think about what he's done.
Yeah, he's currently just like unconscious, and like every time he
Mhm.
kind of like starts to wake up, they just hit him on the head, so he knocks back out.
Okay. Well then, in that case, as long as they're not like taking him somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's literally just like hanging there on display as like a show of power.
I see. Okay. Then I will not leave.
And you guys saw that on your way in. He was literally like just being hung up, and he was kind of fighting, and they just tapped him on the head, and he just knocked out.
Well, we don't have responsibility over their actions. Swear we just met them. Well, I met these guys. They came to me and talked to me some goblin task. So I'm just tagging along for the ride. Honestly, with the other two, I have no idea. Who they are. You can take them.
Make a deception check at advantage for me.
First roll of the day. Shit, that's a 17.
Okay.
Plus
Plus stuff.
We'll roll again to see if you crit.
23.
That's okay. He rolled a 5. So he looks you up and down. Fine, whatever. Here, and he flips a piece of paper off the desk towards you. You can see the other signatures on it. There's a few other names. None of them you recognize. But there's a few other names on there. Go ahead and sign the paper.
All of us?
Just you.
Or just me?
Just you. You're the only one that hasn't
Oh, no,
signed.
me too.
Oh, right. You too. You look like the other... I forgot he's in the prison.
I'm gonna
I
write
take
down.
offense to that, sir.
I'm gonna write down Kuro Lionheart.
Got it. All
And
right.
I just write down Gluten Rack.
Okay. He takes it, looks it over. All right, and he pulls out like a piece of paper that's already been pre-written. Pulls out a stamp off of his pouch on the side. Gets some wax hot and seals it. Breathes on it a little, closes it off, rolls it up, hands it to you guys. All right. There's your writ for the Seashan Isles. So,
Awesome.
I don't know who's gonna take that, but one of you add it to your inventory. Whoever's
I'll take
gonna. Okay.
Shishin Root.
Yeah.
Shishin.
Do you need CYSIAN Isles?
And what can we do about our friend here in jail?
The one in the jail or the one outside the jail?
The one in the jail cell.
Let's see. I'll give you two options. I keep him for 2 weeks. You can have him now for 1,000 gold.
Does anyone have 1,000 gold?
No.
I have 5,000 silver.
Weren't we getting gold? Weren't we getting gold for this?
Oh yeah, for the bugbear ears. Shouldn't
So
we?
actually,
Wasn't there a
he
reward?
owes us, yeah, I think it was 5,000. So I think he owes us 4,000 for.
But you were with us.
No, the bugbear ears was
I was-
The goblin ears. They're not bugbear ears.
Oh, I thought there was money involved.
The Seashan Isles is where the money is.
Yeah.
I see.
So the ears were just like a small test to see if you're even allowed to go there.
And then the money would come from the Seashan Isles. I'm guessing.
Figuring out
Mhm.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized while we're doing this, there's one single goblin just sitting somewhere, and every single time just running back up and forth. Poor little one. So, weren't we supposed to get money for it too?
No, I don't think so.
But we could deceive him. No, I'm joking.
I mean, depending on what you guys say.
Well, if we actually want to like do the whole Seashan Isle thing, I'm speaking to the guy. We'll need everybody in our group. Like, you can, jail him again after.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we need him first to actually not die.
Look,
So
I understand your predicament, but I'm the lawmaster. He
it's
broke the
only
law.
fair to excuse him for a time being.
Go ahead, Abby, and make a persuasion check.
I'm not very persuasive.
Can I try to help her out?
What are you gonna say to help her out?
Alright. So, I'm guessing the blue dragon dude, Kai something, I don't know his name. He did some really wrong things, right?
Uh-huh.
And you need us to go to the Shishin Isles, right?
Uh-huh.
Here's the deal. If he dies somewhere along the way, he's out of your hair. You were gonna keep him for life anyways. And instead of sending some of your soldiers to the Isles and check, why not just send, prisoners? If you lose them, you don't lose anything.
All right, Abby, go ahead and make it with advantage.
I'm helping.
Yay.
He looks at you, looks at Abby, or looks at Yenir. Look, I get it. You're trying to honeypot me. It's been done before. Not gonna fall for that shit twice.
What would you be falling for exactly?
I may have let some people go do something and they never came back and came back to bite me in the ass. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sounds like some deep-rooted trauma. But you shouldn't let that out on us, because that's not an okay thing to do. I think you need to work on your inside first.
Well, Missy, if you buy me a beer, we can talk about it further.
I can offer you a bag of wine.
He takes a bite of a piece of jerky and literally just spits it in your face.
Damn.
Okay. Well, fine.
So that's the deal. 1,000 gold, or he's stuck in here.
One or both.
Well, the other one's not going anywhere. Mr. Blue is mine.
How about, since you're gonna owe us money at the end, you just pay us 4,000, and then we'll take the 1,000 now as like insurance, and then we'll use that to set our friend free.
The reward is upon completion. So how do I know you're gonna complete? You have something of value that you can leave with me.
I look into my pockets, and there's just a lot of snacks.
A donut. A grape. Give him a grape.
I have a couple meat pies. I have some worm poop.
Make an insight check.
E. Oh, I'm insightful.
Okay. Let me message you some shit.
Uh-oh. Secret. I feel like the goblins are gonna end up making a mess of the city somewhere.
Right.
Anytime now.
Still.
Anytime now. No, didn't we instruct them that to make a noise at like 10:30 or some shit?
I don't remember.
I feel like we did.
I don't remember. My character. I don't remember, and my character doesn't remember because he just joined the group. So he doesn't even know anything about your goblin army.
Charles, do you know? Do you remember?
There's a goblin army?
Oh yeah, there's a goblin army.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Like a friendly one? Or not a friendly one?
Friendly to us.
Business friendly.
Acquaintances.
There you go, Abby.
Alright. So, I'm going through my pockets and I like pull out a meat pie and I just like make eye contact with the dude.
Mm-hmm.
I kinda
He's
gesture,
just
like-
staring. He's just staring at you, and then kind of glances to your hand and just stares back at you.
We're doing the meat pie.
Sweet meat.
So,
What are you doing? How did you fit that in your pockets?
I have pretty big pockets. It's like a big cape. So what about a meat pie? It's very important to me. So.
Where'd you get that?
It was meat pie.
Shop.
Shop? I think it was a shop.
Was it Mr. Bandersnatch's, was it?
Ooh, it does sound familiar.
He's the one that has the eating contest, right?
Yeah.
Shakes his head
Isn't
yes.
that the only one?
So I do believe. Yeah. Why do you ask?
Force is strong.
Well, we have an ongoing investigation. Normally,
Really?
I wouldn't discuss it, but given the outstanding nature, you go take care of it for me. Your friend can go free.
We're investigating meat pies.
So, the establishment that you visited, it's Mr. Bandersnatch's Junior, not Senior. Senior died a few months back. The circumstances of his death were cumbersome at best. We had one of our best guards working on it, Shigure. She couldn't make any headway on it. She still
I know the name.
is working that beat. And you guys are familiar with Shigure? She was the guard who won the meat pieing. Yeah. She's that guard.
Kaiba's hand, yes.
So she's been doing some investigation, looking for missing people from Skag Avenue for the past months. Seems to be related to the meat pies. Not sure how. Hoping it's not what we all think it is.
Me too.
I turn back to everybody. Okay, what are you guys thinking? Because I don't know.
I'm thinking I just ate some of that pie.
I didn't.
Well, do we have a choice?
Unless you got 1,000 gold. No.
Actually, I do, but I don't.
If we all pitch in together, we can avoid this meat pie.
I don't even need a
We
picture.
This seems pretty interesting to me.
This is pretty fun. Okay, how about what about Kaiba? Are you sure there's literally nothing we can do?
No. Not a thing.
Is he just being locked up? Like, is he scheduled for execution, or just like he's just keeping him?
He'll be transferred. He's going
To
to, hold on, let me check my notes.
Valuable information. Gotta bust him out.
I turn back to everybody and I'm just. So, couldn't we just kill this guy right now?
No, enough killing in this city. Enough killing.
He'll be transferred to the city of Silverkeep and the,
We are in Silverkeep, aren't we?
no,
we're in-
you guys are in Stillmore. So Silverkeep is the capital of the, this side of Skye. So, there's Skye, and then, there is, Asmar, which is to the right, which is the Elven area. And then across the sea is the Harcrex Empire.
Uh-huh.
Silverkeep. How long do we have until the transfer? We'd like to get some of. He has some like family issues we'd like to sort out for him. In that case.
Sorry, say that
Did you
again?
know he recently found a brother?
Yeah, it's complicated.
Super complicated. It's interesting.
Alright, here are your options. If you have something of value, if you have 1,000 gold, or if you complete my quest. One of those three things.
Does anyone else have something valuable?
We can. The quest is probably fine. But our friend out in front, the one you're keeping.
Uh-huh.
We have a timeline for when he's getting transferred, so we have some time to sort out his family issues.
Whenever the transfer happens.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Alright. We'll complete your quest now. And I'm just gonna walk out.
Okay.
Actually, you know what?
Do you have any? Can you point? You go first.
I'm gonna hand over the Millennium Talisman to the dude, so we can let Tonberry out.
Takes it, looks it over.
Wait, what about the quest?
I wanted to see.
Oh, do you want to do the quest?
I'm curious about the quest. Yes!
Metagaming! Metagaming! Ah!
Then or no? I don't... You should be there, right? Yeah, you should have been there.
I wasn't there.
You should have been there. We ate those pies. It was a pie eating contest.
I'm not Trajan anymore. Trajan's gone.
Oh. Well, I'm not there either. I walked out thinking we're doing the quest, so I'm outside staring at Kyla, going like nodding, shaking my head. And
What you see is as the sun is setting, he's kind of just dangling back and forth, and there's just blood dripping. The chains have kind of turned red from all the blood.
Are there any rotten tomatoes around?
Make a
Are we allowed
Make-
to throw things at him? I asked him
make
to
a
do
perception check while you do that.
so. Can I?
One of the guards looks at you. He's like, I mean, technically he's a prisoner, so it's not against the law.
15.
15. You look around. There's no tomatoes, but you do see like a leftover piece of soggy bread.
That'll do.
What?
I'm gonna pick it up. And I'm gonna check it out.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
All right, let's go. You haven't failed me. You failed me. It's Nate.
It lands on the chains, and it kind of just slowly, sadly drags down, and then falls to the ground.
Yeah, I tried.
Can I tell like how like hurt he is?
Jesus.
Yeah. Go ahead and make
Why are
a.
you doing that?
She just appears next to you. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Not just from the bread throwing, but
Oh.
just in general.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No.
I mean, Raven God.
11. You don't really know the anatomy of Dragonborn. He's lost a lot of blood, but he doesn't seem like he's dying.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna discard my meat pies anyways because I'm a little disgusted. So in true neutral fashion, I'm just gonna stick some in his mouth. And just, like,
Okay. So you force these meat pies into his mouth, and they're kind of just like crumbling as you kind of mush them in. Just for the fun of it, make a strength check for me.
oh no.
Oh no. He's gonna lose some teeth and he will have no idea what happened.
Well, good thing I have a 0 plus strength. So.
And before she rolls a 20.
9. You managed to shove about like 1.5 meat pies in, and the rest of it just crumbles to the ground, and you kind of just look and you're like, good enough.
Cool. I turn away and just like, alright, I didn't want to waste it. Okay, moving on.
Wait, wasn't there a third thing that you mentioned to us? Something about Lord being attacked? I'm talking to the
Yeah.
Lawmaster.
Well, you fellows, you traveled with the cleric before. He ran into the Lord's estate, ran straight at him and attacked. He then disappeared into some type of black ooze.
Ew.
We don't-
Always
we don't
been
know
mysterious,
what-
that one.
But that's why you were called here. We want to know more about him, but based on our conversation here, it seems like you didn't know him all that well.
All we know is that he's a cleric of the. What was his god?
Raven God.
Raven Queen.
Raven Queen. Yes.
As you guys say, the Raven Queen, his eyes kind of go wide. He kind of steels himself and goes, I see.
Well, can you point us towards the meat pie situation?
Shigure. If she's... Well, she'll probably be, keeping watch of the, of Bandersnatchers right about now. So, head over to Twessup Road. Should be able to find him.
Oh, and do you have anything like a code word or like a secret document we can give them so that they know?
Oh, absolutely. He takes out a piece of paper, jots down, help these fuckers, and signs it. Hands it to you. There you go.
That worked.
Anything else?
No, that's everything I need.
So,
I hand my bag of wine to Tonberry so he can try to feel better while in jail.
so right now, Tom Berry's on loan to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
The agreement is he's going to hold on to that talisman until
Okay.
such a time that you return Tom Berry, or he'll sell it for the 1,000 gold. So that's where you're at right now, Tonberry. You are, as you're laying there in the cell, kind of just sobering up, actually, for the first time. So actually, I want you to make a Constitution save for me.
He's on probation.
Constitution save.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to take 1 point of exhaustion for being sober for the first time in years.
Detox.
No, I'm gonna give him wine so he doesn't have to sober up. Keep him the same.
Okay, that's fine. Well, you'll have to drink the entire thing, but we'll say for the purposes of this, that works. So no point of exhaustion, but
I am out of wine.
you feel like absolute trash right now.
Fun. What is this feeling?
So you guys make your way outside. Are you headed to the Twessup Roads?
Hey, where we going?
Sounds good. Going to the
It's
meat.
too bright, guys.
Oh, okay.
It is nighttime now.
Somebody's been throwing shit at Kaiba. I chased him away.
Sounds normal.
You guys see the remnants of a meat pie stuck in his mouth, and he's kind of just like gurgling. And then you see like there's a small pool of saliva. What looks to be the remnants of some type of pie, and a piece of bread.
Can I inspect the leftovers for a person's finger?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a investigation check on this one.
Not possible.
13.
13. Looking through, no fingers.
Probably not people then.
Alright. Good luck, Kaiba. Goodbye. We'll never see you again.
He kind of just twirls from the left to the right very slowly.
Onward!
So,
I need to make a stop.
okay.
Can we go down to the sewers? Hey, we need to call off the goblins.
Yeah, let's do that. It's too bright up here. It's too bright.
So which entrance do you want to go into for the sewers?
Is there a closest one, or should we just go?
There's one right there, so right now you're in North Stillmore. So
Too many people, right?
no, it's nighttime, so there's some foot traffic, but you could make your way down to the sewer if you wanted from here.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys make your way down to the sewers. Looking around, it's just as dark and shitty as it was before.
This just makes me feel like I'm in prison again.
You'll be fine. So we're going down to the sewers, right?
You guys are down in the sewers.
Alright.
Sewers.
Hey! Big Rob, Big Bob, or Tiny Goblin, I forgot the name of.
Green dudes.
Uh,
Tiny green dudes.
for this, Dan, go ahead and make a performance check. 11. There's no response. See, they probably can't hear you from this exact location. This is probably what's happening.
Where did we tell him to meet us? Okay, I'll need
So-
to go find him. So.
Okay. You make your way over to the Smetic Heights, which is where you ask them to wait for you. You see Big Bob sitting there, kind of slumped. It looks like he's eating some type of rat or some type of meat jerky. And he looks, "Hey, boss."
Hey. Okay. So we're gonna have to call this off for a little bit.
Oh,
Some things came up. So
so no dragon?
no dragon.
Okay.
I know. I was sad too.
Okay, it's okay, boss. Don't be sad.
I need you to do something for me.
Uh-huh. As he bites into one of the beef turkeys.
Nice. Interactive. You guys have been able to travel up to the surface and down without anyone noticing you, right?
The surface?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Well, then how have you been getting those bodies?
They come down.
Oh. Well, shit. Do you hear anything up there? Actually, here. You said there was a manhole by the...
This one?
Right? Algar?
This one?
Place?
So... nope. This is the fancy place. Nobody comes from the fancy place.
Okay. I need you guys to be posted closer to the one with the prison. Do you know where that one is?
Just blank stare.
Alright, follow me, and I take him to... Big Bob, follow me. And
Okay.
I take him to the,
Kind of lumbers behind you.
the, manhole closest.
So for Guthrak, this is a new experience. There's a
Yes.
giant
I'm surprised
goblin
you're
just
talking
kind of...
goblins.
Yep, this is just a giant goblin that seems to be following the direction of your pirate-esque bard here. So
Short story, we became allies.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm an orc. Don't be racist.
I'm an orc too.
Well, there you go. They're green.
My
So-
guy is not green. He is... I don't remember.
if I remember right, he's like a brownish,
Tan.
orangish tan. Yeah.
Alright. So, you guys are gonna do the same thing. Alright. Like I said with the last dragon and stuff. But, you're going to try to listen to see if they're going to take down a person named Kaiba or the words prisoner. Okay?
Okay.
And then you're going to try to
Dan,
find me.
make a perception check for me.
Uh-oh. 18.
Okay. This might have been a history check, but whatever. The manhole cover is about a couple 100 feet away from the entrance.
Oh.
It's roughly about 400 or 500 feet away.
Oh.
So it's not anywhere near the. So Dan wouldn't know this, but Serum would. He would have remembered that when you walked out, it took you about 500 feet walk to get to this manhole.
Oh. Well, there goes that plan. So, never mind. Mission abort. Mission abort. Just go chill somewhere, I guess.
Okay. He just kind of sits down, just keeps eating his jerky.
Alright, if I need you, I'll find you guys, okay? And I pat on his shoulder. And then let's
You
go,
kind of
guys.
jump. Even while sitting, he's probably just like a foot taller than you, so you kind of have to reach up to pat his shoulder. Easy enough though. So, anything else you want to do in the sewers?
Nope, my plan went to shit. I tried. So, there goes that. We're just gonna have to keep an eye whether they move or not.
Okay. So,
Leave the sewers, find the pie place.
okay, easy enough. You guys exit through the Twessup Road area. So, you guys are, let's see, move you, right about here. So, you exit, you find your way over to Mr. Bandersnatch's. And again, it's this, sorry, excuse me. So, you approach this wooden building, 2 floors, and as you approach, there is some dim torchlight lighting the streets here. Go ahead and, if you have dark vision, go ahead and make a perception check. If you don't, make it at disadvantage.
All of us?
Yes.
Yeah, 20.
17.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So, Yenir and Guthrak, as you look around, you see a single figure standing in an alleyway over to the right-hand side across from the shop. Fairly well hidden. You probably wouldn't have noticed her under normal circumstances if you weren't.
So it's a female?
It's a female. For you, Yenir, you recognize her. This is Shigure.
Okay. So I kind of like motion to everybody and try to like non-aggressively approach her.
Okay. She looks at you, and then she kind of steps out of the shadows and kind of walks up to you like, "Hi."
Hi, Shigure. How are you?
"Oh, I'm just lovely, dear. How are you?" And you can tell that she's, putting on a face here. Why don't we take a stroll and chat?
Sounds good. But
Yeah.
So
something of yours, I think we might have picked up on accident last time, and I give her the note from the Law Master.
she grabs it and she takes a quick glance and then You watch as she kind of pulls out a tinderbox and lights it, and just lets it burn in her hand as she's walking with you. Of course, yes. Come with me.
Follow.
So you guys start walking through the streets in the Twessup area. What's this all about then?
Do you like
This guy over here in iPad Tunberry got in trouble because of. Do you remember the blue dragonborn that tried to, flirt with you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he killed a bartender. And,
Of course he did.
being just an accomplice, is in jail, and so we've accepted this quest to get Tunberry out. But Kaiba, on the other hand, we're just leaving him.
Nothing we can do about it.
Nope. He's gonna learn his lesson. The hard.
Well,
I think he's gonna be moved soon. I wish I know.
if he
I wish
killed
knew
someone,
when.
yes, of course. He's
Do you have
probably
an idea when that is?
make a persuasion roll.
14.
She goes, no, I'm sorry, haven't the foggiest.
Okay. Well, we would be able to say bye, so we're not caught up in something.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, the transfers happen at the whim of the Silver Keep, not a port city like Stillmore.
All right. So you think that's like a week? A little bit more?
Couldn't tell you.
Word doesn't travel that fast, right?
It's depends on the crime. Depends on if there was something already scheduled.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, what are we dealing with here?
Right.
Meat? Human pies?
No. Elder likes to embellish a bit. No, nothing so crass. We believe that there's a man who delivers the meats here. Since the newer Bandersnatch took over, the flavor of the pies has changed and it's improved. However, the supplier has also changed, and it's not one from within the city. It's a farmer from up the road. He doesn't have much of a farm. He mainly grows crops. So it's strange that he's bringing meats. Followed the farmer. He spends a fair amount of time in Skag Avenue, which I don't know how much you know about the city. But it's a filthier, less to-do neighborhood. People from there have been going missing. At first it was, one or two, and now it seems to be 5 or 10. Within a week. Maybe 1 or 2 a night. Right now, I tend to case the establishment here overnight, just to make sure. However, there is some tension between the warden's guards and the citizens of Skag Avenue, so we can't openly do investigations there, and no one is that forthcoming with information. I do have a lead. His name is Bert. He's a miller whose wife disappeared about 3 nights ago.
Is that B-U-R-T or B-I-R-T?
B-U-R-T.
Key. Any last names, forenames, handles?
They don't really have those down there. Can't afford them.
Oh,
And what does the farmer look like?
Uh, the farmer, I don't know his name. Human male. Late 30s, I would say. Red hair.
Red hair.
Mm-hmm.
And where can we usually find him?
If he's in the city, he's in Skag Avenue or here. If he's outside, he'll be about half day's travel to the southeast.
And where can we find Bert?
And she kind of gives you directions in Skag Avenue where you can find him. There's probably 2 or 3 locations. He doesn't actually have a home.
okay. Thanks. So, you're just posted out here watching the shop, huh?
For the most part, yes. We're not.
Anything going on?
No, nothing of note. Bandersnatch comes in and out every now and then. That's about it.
Just late? Does he live in the shop?
Oh, you know, now that you mention it, I'm not sure. I've never seen him leave.
He's never leave?
He's never left. Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Yenyer, you wanna sneak on inside there?
And
We're just
see
gonna
if
break in.
he's in there.
Or actually, can we look through the windows first?
It's just after dusk. There are still like patrons there,
Oh.
so it's open. She was just like hanging out across the street.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go in.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Shiguri's kind of pulls up her hood and says, "Good luck," and she.
If anything, we'll come back to you for info. With info.
Hmm.
And you give her a thumbs up.
Okay. She makes her way kind of backwards, but back to her post. You can kind of catch a glimpse of her.
Okay, so we're going inside.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you guys make your way to the. Do you want to go inside the actual tavern, or you want to sit outside again?
We're gonna go inside directly.
So you make it inside. There's the 2 tables there. There's Faddock there. And you take your seats, or are you going up to the counter?
Can we look around? Is there like stairs, doors,
Sure.
pathways?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Anyone else?
All of us?
Yeah, anyone who wants to look around as you enter.
17.
I got a 16.
16, 17, 18. Okay. All right. So, as you guys look around, you notice there is the counter. There are pies stacked up on the table. There is a like a baker's table behind him. There's a doorway directly behind him that is open currently, and you can see an oven blazing in the background. In this area, it's mainly windowed around behind you. There's the 2 tables. There is a 3rd table around the corner that's currently occupied. And you can see over there, there's 2 kegs sitting back there that have been tapped. They're large barreled kegs. That's more or less what you guys see on this floor. You see Mr. Bandersnatch. You see what is it? The table of individuals, and then you see outside. There's a few individuals out there, and the server out there with them.
I want to go up and talk to Mr. Bandersnatch.
So you walk up, and he he looks at you with this. He's got a dirty chef's apron on, and he's got this kind of yellow teeth. And as he grins, this like half smile, he.
Wait, is this junior or senior?
So senior is dead.
Okay, so it's junior.
This is junior. So he looks at you. Welcome. What can I get for you?
I've got a couple questions to ask you about your pies. What kind of meat do you use in them?
Well, we have a variety of meats. We have chicken, we have beef, and sometimes we have vegetarian. Ooh.
Where do you get it all from?
That's privileged information.
Come on, you can tell me.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. 14. All right. Well, since you're such a nice guy, come on in. And he kind of pulls you by the scruff and pulls you in nice and close and says, "It's this guy named Alistair. Alster. Well, he's a farmer and a butcher.
Farmer and a butcher? And he's your normal supplier of meat, right?
Yep.
Where can we normally find him?
Oh, I don't. He's here and there. You know, he's just a regular guy.
Was he here recently? Like today?
Yeah. What's your business with him?
Oh, nothing. Just have a couple questions for him.
Okay. He looks nervous.
Me and my friends are going on a journey soon. We're sailors, you see, and we were hoping to buy some supplies. And when we frequented your shop earlier in the week, we thought, you know, what better way to get supplies than like food supplies from one of the best pie shops around, like the same supplier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am rolling an intelligence check. He's not the smartest guy. He does not get what you mean. He looks fucking lost.
AKA, we like your food. We want to bring some with us.
Oh, well, I can give you a bulk discount on any meat pies you see here.
Alright, we'll be back. We're not leaving yet. But while we leave, I'd like one apple pie, please. That's it, right, guys?
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and he goes,
Do they have apple pies?
they do not have apple pies here.
How much would it cost to have my wineskin refilled?
Oh, wineskin will be, well, we only have,
4 pints.
well, we only have mead and ale and grog.
And what?
Grog.
I'll fill it with grog.
Alright, that'll be, 4 copper pieces.
I hand him a silver piece.
He hands you back 6 copper.
Awesome.
He takes the water skin the wine skin and walks around the corner and gets to one of the taps and you hear the and he brings it back. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Alright, we'll see you next time.
Okay, goodbye. Tell your friends about Mr. Bandersnatches.
Of course.
and you see him just like smiling and waving.
These are my friends, though. I guess it's easier for me to tell you guys.
He looks
guys.
really confused.
You guys hear about Bandersnatch?
I heard it's great.
I heard it's great.
fast.
Look, I'm
Same.
doing it already. You can trust me.
He looks at you and just gives you a thumbs up and goes, "Aw, you're the best, buddy!" Ha ha ha.
Fist pump, bro.
He raises his hand and goes, "Woo!"
Man, like his style. He must be a good guy.
I believe you, Tonberry.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we should probably head over to Skag Avenue now.
Yeah, let's look for
Alistair.
Alistair or Bert.
I guess Bert first.
Because then we can get information from Bert and then see if this Alistair guy knows.
Alright, so I guess we're heading to Skag to find Bert.
Yep.
Okay.
Watch your pockets.
Abby, watch out for your pockets. There's meat thieves here.
It's okay. I stuffed all of them into the face of another person.
Oh, okay.
I've discarded them.
Well, watch your grapes then. But Guthrak doesn't know that.
Okay, there's only one left.
Okay. So you guys make your way over. So I need all of you to go ahead and, or actually, give me a marching order.
I have no perception, so I'll be in the back.
I guess I'm leading because I know the city and Skag Avenue like
That
the back of my hand.
Okay.
It makes the most sense.
I'll
So-
go second because I should be there.
Okay.
I'll go after that then, I guess.
I'll
Okay.
be in the back.
So hold on. So I got Dan, Edmar, Charles, Abby,
Yeah.
and then Ryan.
Sounds right. And
All right. Dan, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
11 plus 1 is 12.
Okay. Easy enough. You with the directions, you find your way over to a few places, and you see a red-headed man. There's one horse drawing a cart with him.
Does he look like a farmer?
Make a perception check.
15.
15. Yeah. From what you know about farmers, he looks more or less like a farmer.
so
You
he
can
has
see.
like a straw hat and a pitchfork.
No, he's got
Full of
he's got hardened hands. The
Ooh.
cart is filled with well, it's covered, but from what you can see, there seems to be like some produce, like some vegetables and stuff, but that's about it. That's all you can see.
I got some produce. Hey yo, good sir.
We'd like to see your wares.
What? This ain't for sale.
We said we want to look at your wares, not to buy your wares.
He starts to reach
It
into
wasn't a request.
he starts to reach into a pouch, and then he looks around. Let's see who talked first. Let's see, Guthrak. We'll say Guthrak. Well, let me have you and Tonberry each roll a intimidation check.
Oh, I'm so intimidated.
Wait, out of
24.
Shit. Sorry, Charles. What were you saying?
I'm hella intimidating.
that was our lead, was gonna help us?
No, I think this is the.
This is the farmer. You guys hunted down the farmer right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Unless I misunderstood what you were doing.
No, I think, yeah.
Okay.
I
Because I think you.
could have done both.
Yeah, I thought you guys were going after the farmer first. That's what it sounded like. So if I misunderstood, let me know. But here we are. We're gonna run with it then.
Let's run with it. This is fine.
Okay, this is fine. So, he kind of looks at Tom Berry and goes, and he keeps reaching, and then he looks like directly behind him and sees a slightly larger half orc, and then he immediately puts his hands up and goes, "Whatever you say, mister."
I did it.
So can we take a look at your cart?
You ain't giving me much of choice.
All right, I pull the sheet off.
So as the sheet comes off, you see there are meats in the back. They are cut and cleaned and ready to go. There's some veggies in crates, as you saw, and one of the crates is kind of tipped over, and some of that has spilled.
What kind of meat is this?
You know, the usual. Chicken?
The usual. Oh.
Beef.
Can we
Does
tell that if it looks like beef or chicken?
Sure. Just for the fun of it, why don't you guys, if you want to know, make an animal handling check.
Perfect.
Just we're gonna have a little fun tonight.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh shit.
14.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh,
I know about
There we
my
go.
meat.
He knows his
but
meats.
I can't know. I don't know what those.
But do you know
are.
how to beat your meats?
See, that's why I have a 7.
Charles and Dan, are you getting in on this?
For animal handling?
Sure, yeah. It's just to see what kind of meat it is.
It's
Like
not right.
prawns. I'm like, it could be chicken, or it could be rabbit, it could be beef. I don't know.
Well, I think we all know that people doesn't look like beef or chicken.
Maybe
So,
it's an impossible burger, guys. It could be an impossible burger. Who
So,
knows?
so, Yenir, you look and you're. Oh, Dan, make a animal handling check.
Animal handling wood.
What? We're scaring farmers now.
18.
Okay, so basically everyone except Yenir. You look and you see, for the most part, yeah, there's some beef-ish characteristics to this meat. Tonberry is the only one who notices that this is not any type of meat that you have ever seen before in your life. And Tonberry, you may or may not have tried some human at some point.
Oh. I've seen a lot of things. This is not one of those things I've seen.
So it's confirmed not human in that case.
What is this? Is this an impossible burger?
What's an impossible burger?
It's impossible, dude.
Then it wouldn't be here, would it?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not a scientist.
Meat eater!
Oh, meat eater?
But what?
Sometimes I go vegetarian.
You disgust me, sir.
This guy disgusts me too sometimes.
What kind of meat is this?
It's, like I said, it's beef
Is
and
this
chicken?
Alistair, not Bert? Is this Bert?
This is Alistair. Yeah.
Our friend here says it's not any of those.
Well, sir, to be frank with you, my meats are the finest quality in these here parts.
So
What does
what
he look like?
I,
Oh, were they harvested from these parts?
well, from the farms up the road, yes.
But I thought thought you only grow vegetables in your farm.
Well, we trade. There's
Did he just confess? I think.
Inside check.
okay.
Can I?
Dan, you can go ahead.
Oh, yay. uh, 6.
Okay. Um. So.
Guys, he's telling the truth.
What kind of truth?
All right. Check your Facebook.
Who?
Are there like torches
Dan.
or like how is this area lit?
This area is not that well lit. It's very very dark.
Very dark.
Yeah, there is no torchlight here. This is not that kind of area.
All right then. So are we having a hard time seeing then?
You guys are close enough where as long as you're looking, at the cart and kind of just in that general area, you're fine. If you're trying to look at something far away, depends on what you're trying to see.
It's not like a cave dark, right? Because we're outside, so it's like.
No, there's like moonlight and like starlight, yeah.
So, where
I don't know
did
what
you get
this
these from?
I'm gonna walk up to the meat and like. I'm gonna ask him if I can touch it.
You won't touch my meat?
Damn.
So forward.
Well,
Sounds sexy.
Oh.
well, I suppose.
I'm gonna like approach the meat and then
You're gonna beat it.
I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy
Oh God.
and have like ominous whispers in the area.
Oh God. Okay. Is it everyone hears it? Do you want just certain? Oh no, actually everyone hears it. Yeah, it's thaumaturgy. You guys listen as he touches the meat. You hear.
Like,
What the fuck was that?
Oh, actually, wait. No, I have music for this. I forgot. I have music for this. Where's the? Is it this one?
Music.
Yeah, it's this one. No, is it this one?
Scary.
That's ominous. That's just
Oh.
ominous. Yeah.
That-
I had one where the guy would just like randomly yell things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was. Is it this one? Oh,
I
this
think
one.
it was just a moaning one. Yeah. It's like,
That one. Yeah. So you guys hear this.
and then I'm gonna be like, I don't know, for my time as a cleric, this meat seems a little cursed. Are you sure you didn't get it from like a cemetery or something?
Oh God, no! Ah, no cemetery.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, where'd you get the meat from? Cause
Where did you get it from? And I grab him by the shirt.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
He's already intimidated.
I'd like to join in that. I'm gonna grab him by the pants.
Okay.
I got it.
19 plus 5.
you're gonna make him turn into a dragon.
Okay. He looks at you. The whispers start to go away. As he's pinned to the wall, Tom Barry, you grab his pants and you feel a warm liquid just kind of encompass your hand. You're familiar with the scent. Guthrak, he
This usually happens after drinking. A lot. Early, bro.
well, fuck don't kill me. I'll tell you what you want to know. Just don't kill me. He's going full mental breakdown at this point. You've made this redheaded man just weep. He's pissed himself. He is weeping.
Oh.
I get up really close to his ear and I'm like, we'll make you meat if you don't spill it.
I'm rubbing my head.
Do I spill the meat now? What do I do? I don't know. Don't kill me.
Rubbing my hand in his face. This is gonna continue.
Run this Jack. Like this.
Let the guy talk.
Oh, he'll want to talk after I keep wiping my hands.
And he just faints.
It's almost dry. Hold on.
It's actually getting wetter from the tears and saliva and like just spittle that's coming out of his mouth now.
Alistar takes like 3d6 psychic damage.
Not yet.
I yell at him, talk, and then I put an axe to his throat.
Okay.
Barry's still rubbing his hand in his face.
Okay. I think I had enough for me.
Okay, so you take your hand away?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to know? Oh God, I'm just a farmer.
Where did you get the meat from?
It's okay. I made a deal with the goblins.
You made a deal with the goblin?
I made a deal with the goblins. He is full on pulling at this point. There's like a few people in the street that are like, they look at you, see this happen, just kind of turn and walk the fuck away.
My
Go
hand
on your way.
is so wet.
All
I
right.
find this entire situation very comforting.
What else do you want to know?
Where did the goblins get their meat from? And I put the axe closer to his neck.
Why don't we just go after
I don't know. I just trade them. That's all.
Talk, or I'll put my hands back. No,
Do you really know what
He's already talked.
what this meat is?
I don't know. They just get the meat. That's it. They give me the
I
meat.
think he really doesn't know, guys.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, take us to these goblins then.
We know the guy.
I know where the goblins are.
Why do you do that? He's really like.
And are they the same
Are
goblin?
they forest goblins or sewer goblins?
They're goblin. I don't know.
That's why we're making him take him.
Alright.
No, we just need to know where he meets him. We don't need him to be there.
Yeah.
Where do you meet them?
Wait, just down this. And he points to the sewer grate, like about 200 to 400 feet away from you.
Damn it!
what's their name?
What? They're goblins. Why would I do this?
Where is your daddy and what does he do?
He's a farmer. He's a farmer.
While he's in a like crazed state, I'm just like slipping some meat into my pockets.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
I'd like to slip him a drink and ask him if he likes it.
Okay. For you, make a just a general like dexterity check for me. So D20, add your dex modifier. Abby, what did you get?
Oh, for the sleight of hand.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hold on. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I
He
only want a small piece.
yeah, he sees you take it, does nothing. Just
Oh.
so
My pockets just feel empty, so yeah.
sure, yeah. So you put some meat in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Tonberry, as you I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So he is it your which one are you doing? You're doing your water skin, or are you doing a cup?
I'm doing a cup. I just want to see if he likes my drink.
Uh-oh.
So you try and put the cup into his mouth, and he's like, and now he's like coughing up bile.
Chopping up blood?
Bile. Like
wow.
he's started to like dry heave kind of thing.
Ew.
Let's
Alright.
Oh no, guys.
So,
Last thing I'm gonna say to him: you're done dealing with the goblins. If I see you doing this again, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna kill you. I know where you live. I know where you are.
I want just I'm just a farmer. Damn it.
You had a good night out of the town. We were never here.
I'm gonna give him 5 gold. I'm gonna take his hand. I'm gonna put 5 gold in his hands, and I'm gonna be like, all right, you're a farmer, right? Use this coin to make a real honest life. No more dealing with the goblin.
I promise. I promise.
I mean, it should be enough for some seeds, like, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
come to-
Uh-huh.
All right. You got family to feed?
Nope.
Then get out of
Well,
here.
then use this gold wisely.
Okay. And he immediately just leaves the cart, leaves the horse, starts running.
Hey, we got a cart. Da-da-da-da.
I want to take the horse.
We're taking everything. Why would we take just the horse? We're taking everything.
We want to take everything, but I want the horse.
Okay, fine. You can name the horse.
Why are we taking
Well, if he's gonna leave it, then we're taking this. I mean, I'm nice, but I'm not that nice. I'm a pirate, remember? I take what I want, I give what I want.
I think this is
And I
like
want the cart. I'm taking the cart.
Are we like the mob now?
Well, you know, he's evil, so I'm taking.
We don't know he's evil, but... Alright,
Based off is dealing with the goblins.
I'm gonna start moving like
We're
this
dealing with
sack
the
of...
goblins. Are we evil?
Oh,
Possibly.
I'm gonna take the sack of meats and I'm just gonna dump him in the sewers.
Oh god.
Okay.
Like emptying the cart.
Okay. Abby, you put the meat back, and you watch as Serum just picks everything up and walks over and just drops it into the sewer grate.
It's all meat, right?
No, there's some meat and there's some veggies.
Oh, I wanna keep the veggies.
Okay.
Where are you gonna keep
My-
them?
My meat.
On the cart that we just acquired.
I was gonna keep the meat on the cart.
put some
We don't know where that meat is from, and the ones that will know will actually they won't know.
So as you drop the meat into the sewer, you hear sounds like a lot of scraping and a lot of biting down there.
Big Bob, you guys down there?
Is it like rats or like goblins? Sounds.
I don't know. They would respond to me, right?
They would respond to you probably.
I spoke in Goblin, by the way.
Yep.
Can I cast light
Sure.
down the sewer?
Yep.
I do that.
Okay.
Like on a piece of meat or something.
Sure, yeah. We'll say like you grab a piece of vegetable.
Manhole.
What's you close the manhole?
No, I'm ready to close it in case.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so you throw like a piece of corn down there, and you just see like about let's say like 70 or so rats just like viciously destroying this piece, all the meat that you've thrown down there.
Nope.
Abby just watches in horror, or Yenyer just watches in
Yeah.
horror as
Pretty sad, right?
Manhole closes.
okay. You hear a very faint.
I'll be right back, okay?
All right.
So, let's take the cart back to the enchantresses. And now we got a cart, guys, and a horse.
I have a horse.
Guthrak's got a horse that he's going to use to pull the cart, right?
No,
Uh,
I'm riding it.
Oh my
So
God.
for this,
Ride the horse and then have the horse drag the cart to the inn.
Fine.
Yes.
for this, you can add a horse to your extras in D&D Beyond, Ryan, and then Dan, for just the sake of convenience, go ahead and add a cart into yours with.
I'm gonna make a party inventory list.
Okay.
So
we can be
You can
farmers
put
now.
we have on the cart. We have
you have
how many vegetables?
you have
What
three.
kind of horse?
Uh,
Is it riding horse and draft horse?
it's a actually let me double check draft horse.
What's a draft horse? Is
Yeah,
that
that's what
like
I'm double checking.
like a drinking horse.
This would just be a riding horse.
Riding horse?
Yep.
Cool.
Great. Now I'm gonna have to find and buy a horse. Oh well.
The cart has 3 bushels of what's it called? Bushels of vegetables, we'll say.
Oh, we're vegetarian now, guys.
Huh.
He's a vegetarian.
So wait, bushels? How much bushels?
3 bushels.
3 bushels of vegetables?
Sure.
Is there like a day length?
Expiration date. Is that what you're asking?
5 days worth? I
Uh,
don't know how much bushel is. I really don't. Zero knows. I don't.
Serum would know. You estimate if you only ate this between the 5 of you, it would probably last you about a week.
That's not bad.
Gotta feed
Yeah.
the horse now too.
Is there
Oh
any
god
wheat?
damn it.
Got some
Boy,
barley
they-
in there?
6 days. 5 days. Wait, no, it's your horse. You feed your own horse. This is for everybody.
Well, then someone
Unless that horse is dragging this cart, it get no food from,
it's dragging the cart.
Okay, fine. It gets some food then.
We'll get the places faster if we have a horse and a cart.
Yep.
I call shotgun. In the
So
cut.
I guess we're riding this to the inn. And actually, I'd like to stop by Shigure.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to Shigure.
All right. So you guys.
Meat? Or no, with all the vegetables.
So yeah, there's only vegetables in the cart now. There is meat residue in the cart.
You know what's funny? We just solved this whole problem in the span of like 3 hours that they couldn't do for what? Months?
We just had to wipe our hands on them. That's all.
They just were a little more aggressive than they.
That's true. Alright. So we see Shigure?
Yeah, you make your way back. She's still same spot. Kind of looks at you, looks at the cart, kind of wide-eyed, and slinks over. Oh. Hello.
Stuff happened. We solved it. It's goblins.
It's always
Not the meat.
goblins.
The meat's not goblins.
Oh. She has like a look of relief on her face, like what?
Except we don't know if it's actually human or not.
But he gets the meat from the goblins.
But he
ain't
gets the
doing
meat
it
from the
anymore.
goblins. Yep.
He's not doing it anymore though.
Who?
The farmer's name was Alistair, by the way.
Right. Okay.
So
Do you have the meat?
God damn it.
Pull out like some residue from my pocket.
Abby has some, doesn't she?
No.
yeah, she does.
Ah.
I have some residue. I put it in the cart thinking it would be safe there, but then I turned dramatically, but it wasn't.
She looks at your hand and she's like, that's not evidence.
Was evidence needed? That wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's an implied part of the request.
Okay. So if you track down Alistair, he'll tell you everything you need to know.
Right. And where would I find him?
Well, we know where his farm is, so we can just tell her.
Yeah.
I know where his farm is,
Went
but
that direction.
all right. And she starts to walk in that direction.
Do you need help?
Would you like a ride there? We have
It's
a
kind
cart.
of dark.
Sure, I suppose so.
Okay, I guess we're going.
Hop in.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys hop in the cart. It's like nighttime right now. It's maybe like 10 or 11 at night, and you guys start making your way.
City at night.
Yep. So you guys travel outside of the city, and
Well, I've got
you're
my visions. Okay. I can
yeah.
see where I'm going.
so you're on the and you would have ridden a horse, so you're fine. So you are on the main road, leaving Stillmore, and you make your way over in the southeasternly direction. And as you do, you come upon a farm. There is no light. There are lots and lots of crops, but this is Alistair's estate.
Big ass house. Right? Is it a big ass house?
Nope. It is probably No, it's not a shack.
Did
It's
we
it's like
see
a ranch.
Alistair on the way here?
Nope.
Oh, because I feel like we would have ran into him. It's a far walk, isn't it?
Yeah, it took you probably about a 2-hour ride to get out here.
Damn.
Even on the cart and
Mhm.
horse.
Mm.
It was a half-day journey on foot.
All right. Let's break into his place and look for more meat.
Oh, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Shigure says, I la 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 la, I'm
Sure,
a
you can
guard.
tell me. We're gonna go knock.
All right, I'll wait here. And she's kind of just sitting, gnawing on some vegetables.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go knock.
All right, so you walk up, dunk dunk. No answer.
Alistair! Oi!
No answer.
I kick open the door.
Go ahead and make a for this. Make a strength check.
Just a normal strength check.
Mhm.
Regular 20.
You guys watch as this burlier half orc just walks up and takes his boot and shoves his foot just straight through the doorknob, and the door kind of swings open.
Good job.
Alistair! Hey, you in here? Buddy?
Silence.
Do we
I
see
need to
anything
use
when
the
we look
washroom.
Do we see anything when we look inside?
Go ahead and make perception checks. That would be just the two of you right now, unless
Alright.
everyone else is
So
walking up.
me and... Alright, that's good.
So it'd be you, Guthrak.
22.
16.
You guys look around. It looks like no one has been here in probably the better part of a day. There is no food kind of laid out on the table. There's a bedroll set off to the side. You see some farming implements, but that's about it.
Do you see anything else like where he would store food?
Looking around, there are bushels you can see in a back room, like various crates.
I open them.
They're open. These are all more vegetables.
Any meat?
Not that you guys can see.
Can I look outside to see if there's like a storage shed or anything?
Sure. Go ahead and
Does
run.
he have anything valuable in here?
Both of you each make an investigation check for me.
My pillaging skills are getting to me.
15.
12.
12. You find 10 copper pieces and 15 silver pieces. Dan.
I'll take the silver.
I'm gonna take the copper.
Guthrak,
silver.
you're looking outside, right, for a shed?
Yeah, I'm looking outside.
Yep. So you walk outside, and you look around, and there is in fact two sheds. There is one near a tree on the right-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
and there is another about 20 feet back behind that tree.
So if he doesn't return, do we own this place?
I think he still owns the place. He's just a little.
Shigure yells, "He still owns the place! It's his property!
How did you hear?
I'm perceptive as fuck!"
She is a guard, so.
Well, I'm still keeping these silver pieces.
All right. I want to check the shed that's closest to me.
Okay.
Anything else besides money?
Nothing
Okay.
nothing of note. He seemed to
Cooking
be
utensils, equipment?
yeah, there's cooking utensils if you want to take those.
I'm gonna take it, yes.
Let me check something real quick before you do that.
I mean, I feel like those things aren't expensive to begin with.
I'm a pirate. We don't
I'm pretty sure I have some in my inventory.
take what you want, give what you want.
for the purposes of this, go ahead and add mess kit to your
Oh, I do have a mess kit.
Yeah.
It's a mess kit, not
Yeah.
a cook's utensil.
For this one, it would be the equivalent of a mess kit, is what you would find.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Nope. That's roughly it.
I'm checking the shed that's closest to me.
Shed closest to you. You
Is the
go
door
to
locked?
it. It is. It's got a padlock on this one. Wooden door
Where's
still.
Mac? I'm gonna follow. Cause did he tell me? Did you tell me?
He just walked out. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Eh.
I thought you just walked out.
Well, which one? Who is the thief again? Who's good at lockpicking?
Abby.
Yenir kind of skips over to you. Do, 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 do.
Can you take care of this lock?
Possibly.
You could also just kick the door down like you did the last door.
I could, but you know.
So I
get
have
some
thieves'
uses
tools, which I'm pretty sure has.
Yeah, you can use those.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
that is how this works.
Okay.
That's what they for.
What do I do? I haven't picked a door before.
Yes, you have. So you walk up. Do you want to pick the door?
Um. Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be a D20, and then you're going to add your proficiency modifier, and your this one would be sleight of hand.
Or is the proficiency modifier?
So proficiency modifier
It should be
is
at the top by your walking speed and armor class.
there. You go.
Ah. Okay. So that plus what?
So that plus your sleight of hand. Okay, easy enough. You hear a dink as the lock kind of comes undone, and it's just hanging there.
I open the door.
As the
What-
door opens, you look inside, and there are more farming utensils, and there are about 3 more bushels of vegetables.
But no meat.
No meat in here.
Alright. Next shed.
I'm gonna take. Oh wait, no, we got a guard with us. I can't take these tools. Damn it.
I mean, you can.
You know,
I can hear you.
God damn it! We're not doing anything. Wait. Then why aren't you stopping us from doing all these stuff then?
Because we're not in the city.
I have to wait for the crime to occur before I can arrest you.
Well,
She is
Okay.
definitely zipping into her wineskin at this point.
So next shed.
Next shed. So you get there. There's no lock.
I open the door.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
How the hell does a farmer have traps?
that is true.
Nat 20.
Oh shit. Okay. Actually, yeah. I was gonna say, you'd be standing right with them, right? And Abby too.
Oh my god. Am I paying it?
Yeah, I think so. I think Abby, you would have followed, right?
Dexterity.
Or would you be staying at?
I always keep a safe distance.
Okay, so we'll say Yenir is still kind of like lounging at the other one. I would say
24.
okay. So both of you, as you open the door, there is a about 15 or 20 arrows that just go flying out, and you hear them into the tree.
He's no ordinary farmer.
Looking inside, there's a
I
stairway.
told Shigure to have her come here too.
Oh, for the love of fuck!
He had a trap on the shed.
Okay, and
What kind of farmer has that?
the ones who don't want their shit stolen.
Well, then why didn't he put a lock on the door?
Right, because Miss What's-Her-Face didn't break the lock. Mm.
The door was already unlocked when we got here.
Yeah. This one was unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
He had a trap.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a deception check.
What are you gonna do? Arrest us?
Why are we doing a deception check? It
We're
was
trying to help you with this task here.
And the door was unlocked.
Who's doing this deception check?
It'd be the two of you guys.
No, we're not even deceiving her. That's how it was. The door was
She
unlocked.
thinks you're talking about the other door.
I'm
Oh.
talking about this one that almost killed us.
Waiting.
All right, fine. 16.
Okay.
7 plus 6, 13.
13. Okay. She looks at you, Guthrak, and she goes, "Fine, I believe you, but." And she walks over to you, Serum, and she reaches into your pocket and she takes out the silver, and she pockets it.
How much silver?
Mark off 10 silver.
Oh, wait, why?
I saw that.
Jeez, how did you see them?
Perceptive as fuck.
I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I was in the
She takes a
shower.
swig of her.
Are you a human? I don't believe you're a human anymore.
She takes a swig of her wineskin. She goes, "Oh, stairs! Great. Now what?"
I guess we go down the stairs.
Well,
After
you
you.
were assigned to this job, and we're helping you, so you're coming with us.
It sounds like an order, and I don't like orders.
Well, you took 10 silver from me, so yeah.
You
And
stole.
No, I didn't steal it. Shut up.
I kind of like walk
did
over
you know?
to her
You don't
and
know
grab
that.
her arm. And I'm like, let's go down the creepy stairs. It'll be fun.
see, this one. I like this one. And she just kind of like settles in with your arm and kind of
You like
puts it in
someone
lock
else,
and
too. You moved
jumps
your
down.
hands in my pocket. What I mean.
It was a bit small.
Oh my god.
Well, that's why Kaiba had no chance.
Damn. Well, I guess Abby's going first. Who else wants
So
to follow?
the two of you start to make your way towards the stairs. So
I was
Abby,
just
go
gonna
ahead and
go
make a
up there
perception
and
check.
The door open and whatever.
You should probably check for more traps.
So Abby, perception check.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Well, can't we have Shigure do it because she's super successful?
She already did. She already did.
Together. Yeah.
Okay.
Try it.
So you start to walk ahead and you're kind of pulling her, and she grabs your arm and pulls you back for a second. She goes, "Sweetie, no, that won't
No,
do."
that's why Kaiba didn't have a chance.
And she looks up and she points. See? And you see just ever so faintly there are two glyphs on either side.
Oh, so he's a magical farmer too.
What the hell?
And she
It's
takes
no ordinary
she looks around and she grabs a rock and she throws it. And you guys watch as two small bolts of fire shoot out, just eviscerate the rock, and the glyphs pulse and dissipate. And
I
you
hope that wasn't my tripper's rock that you took from my pockets too.
I heard that, and no, it wasn't. I don't like stealing garbage. And
Please don't
she kind of pulls you along, Yenir.
Okay. I'm like disgusted with myself that I couldn't see that.
It's
So I'm
okay,
having,
dear.
like, a
It's
moment.
okay. You're still so
I'm
young.
following behind them.
I'm having this like assassin moment right now.
So who's here right now? Charles, are you still?
I'm following.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody.
the rest of us are following. The two of them are in the front.
Okay. So right now the order is we have Yenir and
Shigure.
oh shoot, thank you. Shigure in front. Then we have Guthrak and Serum. And then bring up the rear, we have Therian and Tomberry, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
Wait,
as you guys keep walking, the temperature, it's not that far of a walk, but the temperature drops about like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 50. It is very, very cold now. Basically, like it's like you walked out and outside it's not. It's like 60s, 70s. Down here it's like 20s, and you walk.
Cold.
And you,
Like they would store meat here.
and
Oh,
as
I'm
you
not doing
as you
so
look
well.
around, you
I'm a
see
pirate.
you
I got a heavy
see.
I'm freezing. I'm freezing. We live in tropical waters. There's a reason we don't travel north.
Okay.
What's the UK? The hell's the UK?
What's the uck?
Uk. I've never been to the Uk territories. Always been around here, you know, where it's nice and warm.
So,
I'm gonna become an icicle.
as you guys look inside, what you see is just a room that is um, carved out of the stonework, and you see just shards and walls of ice, and on meat hooks you see different cuts of meat just down the line.
We found the meat.
Here's the meat.
Is this Arby's?
What's an Arby's?
It's like Mr. Bandersnatch's, but sandwiches.
Oh God,
I made
that
a
sounds
real meat.
that's horrifying. Why would you? What? There's more?
No. No. It's actual meat instead of,
Ugh.
whatever.
We can't be sure of that.
She is both curious and horrified. So she looks around and she goes, we can't tell what creatures this meat came from, though.
But Tonberry knows that it's not beef, chicken, or pork, or goat, or sheep. It's definitely not normal meat.
Right, but technically he hasn't broken a law.
Do we know anyone who knows their meats? Is a professional.
We need some scholars.
Or a cook. Or a chef.
Or, yeah.
Or
Would
a
she not
doctor.
know the kind of meat?
What are the shapes?
So looking down, you guys see hanging. You see what are lots of kind of just like rib cuts. You see about 10 in each row.
Human
There's
heads?
no human heads. There's no flesh here. You see. Go ahead, actually. Everyone, go ahead and make a perception check. If you don't have dark vision, make it a disadvantage.
Oh, here, I can help with that.
I got a natural 20! Yes! For a total of 27.
Well, damn. I got a 2.
I see everything. My elf eyes see all of it.
Okay. Okay.
Who here does? I think we all have dark vision.
I do not.
Yeah.
He does not.
Oh.
Charles does not. You got
That
15
would
with
be-
disadvantage?
Yeah. I mean, I could also cast light. Then maybe we can see. Or then I
Wait, do you have to use a spell slot for that?
No, it's a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
Are you casting that though?
Wait, what are we? If we're looking at the meat, if
So-
it's not a.
You guys look out. You see the meats. You see, in the far back there is what looks to be a butcher's table. Where the meats are being in the process of being prepared. There's no one currently there, but it looks like someone was doing some work there. The table is about 2.5 feet tall.
It's pretty short for a human. So it's not a human.
Mm-hmm.
What do we see on the table? Human head?
Nope.
An elf head?
You see
Do I see anything special?
as you guys walk closer and you take a look, you see a cleaver, which Therian, if you picked up, it would probably be very comfortable for you.
Halflings.
And looking on the table, you see a fair amount of very dark purple feathers and some white. You see claws, They're roughly about the size of someone's face. And then you also see what looks to be another set of different colored feathers. This time, they are kind of multicolored. They have a red hue, a purple hue, but you can see that they've kind of been shaved off. Looks like the remnants of whatever they were butchering.
Feathers, huh?
These are some big birds. If the claws are the size of a human head.
So there's two types of claws, and for this, let me think here. So I want Tonberry and Guthrak to roll nature checks, and I want everyone else to roll a history check.
7.
18 history.
6.
Okay. So as you guys look and kind of stare at the these different feathers and claws and like body parts that are just laying there, and you're trying to piece something together, each of you is kind of racking your brain like, well, what are they butchering here? Serum, the claw. Sorry, there's two types of claws. There's one that looks like 3 talons, right? There's another one with a bear-shaped imprint with 5 claws on it. You recognize this to be from an owl bear.
Oh.
The other one you don't recognize, so none of you recognize the other.
Uh-oh.
Is this monster meat?
It's not monster meat. Actually, it could be monster meat.
Awesome.
But
Aren't owl
this-
bears monsters?
this thing's an owl bear, guys.
What? How do you know that?
Days of adventuring. Seen these before, you know.
We know
When
things.
you're at sea and then you find some islands and you're kind of starving for food, tend to, not argue with whatever nature gives you.
So
What's
is
an
this
owl
proof
bear?
enough?
It's not human meat.
It's
So it's not proof enough.
well,
It
again,
doesn't seem like it's related to it.
no. This doesn't prove that he was breaking any laws.
Uh-oh.
Well, is that what we're looking for? Or were you looking
I'm
for
gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna repair his front door.
Well, we have to find out about the goblins also.
What?
Been dealing with the goblins.
What do you mean?
Well, he said he was dealing with the goblins to get his meat. So, this is probably unrelated then.
It seems related.
Maybe it's related. We don't know.
There seems to be more that we need to figure out here, but clearly, she points to the table, he's not cutting the meat. I don't think he would even know where these, or how to butcher these creatures.
Actually, I don't go upstairs. Is there any other path into this room or no? Maybe a
Nothing
two-sided hole?
that you guys notice, but go ahead, and Serum, go ahead and make a investigation.
Ha. 6.
6. Nope, no other entrances.
Alright, I'm going back upstairs. Too cold. I'm gonna repair the door. Or at least attempt.
Okay. Do you have I'm trying to think.
Tools? Nope, I'll just use whatever he has on the ship.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 and add your dex modifier.
And add my dex?
Yes.
Huh. 7.
You kind of jimmy rig it together where the door kind of This is his main entrance door.
Yep.
Okay. You kind of close the door and you place the kicked in board back, and you kind of perch the lock in, and looks good enough, and you walk away.
Sweet.
He did a thing.
Is there any other area around Goblin size?
No.
What do you mean?
How's he think? Are the goblins going with him up here? This kind of thing.
Well,
Like, why
he
don't
said
you
he
figure
meets
out?
them in the sewers, so.
Yeah, but if he's got the tiny table downstairs, that means there could be a goblin around here.
Shigure, do you have any ideas?
But I'm upstairs, so you guys don't hear me. The floors.
Child labor, guys.
Is there any like obvious way to disable the traps?
Which trap are you talking about?
Are there any more traps?
Like the fireballs.
From what you can tell, they were a one-time use, but it seems like if maybe a certain word was uttered, you could pass without issue.
What about the arrows?
For the arrows, Abby, go ahead and for this, just make a intelligence check. With your knowledge, if you wanted to, you could rearm the trap. You would have to go and spend some time to pick up all the arrows out of the tree, but as long as you're willing to spend the time to do it.
Nah. We should let them know that people were here.
Well, I'd just like to see whether like this was like an area that he used, like the farmer guy used, or was it something that was like unrelated to him?
No, this is on his property. This seems to be, there's a trail that leads to it, on his property. So as far as you can tell, yes, it's his.
Direct connection to weird meetings. So can I look around the room too and see if I can see anything that would indicate an exit or another entrance exit?
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. 15. Okay. You see on the right-hand side, so there's on the left-hand side there are two, as you walk in the room, there are two rows of 10 meats hanging. There is a table directly across from you, and then there are 4 bushels, there are 4 large crates in between you and that table. On the right-hand side, you can see just faintly through the frozen kind of rock face, you see a faint bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Not fog, but like when you breathe outside and it's cold and you see your breath. That. So whatever that is, that's what you see. You just see that just faintly on the right hand side.
Cool. I'm gonna go investigate.
Okay. As you push on the wall, it and the door opens, and before you stands a goblin.
Ooh.
And
I kind of like kneel down and try to like calmly ask him what's going on.
He's not gonna understand you.
That is true.
We need serum. Grapple him.
So the
I wanna
room.
grab the scruff of his neck.
Okay. Go ahead and make a grapple. So this would be your D20 plus your athletics. So as you go to grab him by the scruff of his neck, he dips under you and he starts to bolt out.
Can I cast hold person on him?
Go ahead.
All right. So he's gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yep. What's the DC?
13.
He fails it. You watch as he starts to run and he goes, and he's just frozen in place.
All right. Someone should probably go get Serum.
I'll go with 0.
All right. So you run up and you find Serum. He's
Hey, Virion.
walking away from the door.
Oh,
What?
The door's great. There's a goblin down there.
There's a goblin down there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll translate.
Oh, okay. I'll do it.
Okay. So you make your way down. You see this goblin. How long?
The goblin go upstairs. Why do I have to go back down here? It's cold.
Because he's paralyzed. I'm holding him in place with a force.
You see Guthrak kind of just like holding his hand out, his palm facing this goblin, and the goblin isn't moving at all. It barely looks like he is breathing. He's paralyzed. So.
Hey, Shira, you understand goblin?
Nope.
Hi.
And she's literally just like sitting on the bench over there.
You're a guard, right? Don't you have like cuffs or something?
Isn't she surprised by the fact that there's a goblin here
Nope.
and the dude's dealing with goblins?
Nope.
Is this a
she's just along for the ride at this point.
Sounds
So
right.
it's so Ryan, for the sake of this, hold person. What's the duration?
Duration is 1 minute.
Okay.
Abby, grapple him.
So I will say, as Serum is walking in, the spell will have dissipated. It took probably about a minute for him to come back in. So he goes, "Ah, yeah!" and he starts running.
Can
Okay.
Block the door.
We're standing by the door.
Can we have like held him as like after he was held by the
Mhm.
spell?
Can I use my chain? I have a chain.
Yeah, does someone want to tie him up?
My
Shira
weapon
is a guard. Shouldn't she have something?
Hey, maybe he's innocent, guys. Let's just like.
So-
He's a goblin. He's not innocent.
Yeah.
As he starts to make a run for it, he freezes again. What are you guys doing?
Tie him up. Someone tie him up.
Shira, you got anything? You're a guard.
Let me use my chain sickle to tie him up. I literally can.
I've got rope in my backpack. Someone just wants to grab that.
Hey. Do you know Boblin and Boblin?
He breaks free of the hold person spell,
I
and
grab 'em.
and he as he starts to run and he hears Boblin and Goblin, he goes, "You speak Goblin."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
And he's got these goggles on his head, and a kind of reddish brown tan apron, and you can see his hands are they're green, but they're also red. So there's like a mix of blood from his work and just his normal skin tone. And he looks at you and
So? Do you know Roblin and Goblin? Or Boblin? Roblin?
are they okay? Are my little
Yeah.
brothers okay?
They're your little brothers?
Well, they were the runts of the litter.
They're the runs of the litters!
Just to clarify, these are the giant ones, right?
Yeah, these are the two that are roughly about like 10 feet tall and probably well over like 200 pounds. Like they basically look like linebackers. So yeah. Well, you can see the family business is pretty good.
Yeah,
Ask them what kind of meat it is.
they're fine. Just so you know, Big Rob and Big Bob we're friends. We're kind of friends now. So
Go
all the goblins under the city of Stonewar.
go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Goddamn, where's Big Boss? What's the name of the Big Boss? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
15 plus 6, 22.
Okay.
21.
He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, What?
Yeah, how long have you been here?
Oh, probably about half a year now.
Damn.
Pays good. Pays good. Where's Alistair?
Um, he, I don't know if he's ever gonna return. We can't find him.
What do you mean? Did something happen to him?
First, are any of these meats human?
He looks to the right, looks to the left, looks up. That one.
This one.
And he points all the way. There's a small little crate in the back, and that's the. You can see it's a closed crate.
I go up to the crate and open the crate.
As you open the crate, a small human child jumps out.
Aha! Human.
As the orc opens the crate, this child jumps out, looks at you, takes off running.
Well, I can't.
Hold person.
I'm
Go get him.
Can't Shigure go grab him?
Not in the city, not my problem.
Alright,
Hey, why did you take my silver? Damn it!
I take my robot and I form a lasso and I throw.
Can I go for him?
Hold on. So one thing at a time. So, Sarah, were you casting hold person, or were you yelling
No, I
hold
don't
person?
have
Okay,
hold
all right.
person. I was just trying
So then I will say, Guthrek, go ahead and what are we doing? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to capture him.
Okay. Go.
Trying to grab him.
to- Can I get sleep in the area?
No, because you might put us to sleep.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So go ahead and make a grab.
Silver bag.
So go ahead and make a athletics check against this small child.
Can I do with advantage because he's a small child?
No, because he's gonna be using acrobatics. So
Alright. Regular 20.
regular 20. Okay. As you go, he tries to duck out of the way. You miss with one hand, and then with the other one, you just grab him by the face and lift him up.
I'm not grabbing him by the face, I'm grabbing him by the shirt.
That's fine. So you grab him by the shirt with the other hand. So the first one you missed behind him, but the second one you grabbed him up top, on the front of his shirt instead.
What's your name? Little goblin boy? Little goblin?
It's
Goblin?
it's a human boy. There's a goblin. Are you talking to the goblin?
Yeah, I'm talking to the goblin.
My name is Boblin.
Boblin? Your name is Boblin too?
Well, I'm Boblin the first, and
Oh,
then there's
Boblin
Boblin the
two.
second, and then
And then
Boblin the
there's
fourth.
Two.
No, Boblin the fourth. There's no Boblin two.
Oh, there's no Boblin two.
We don't talk about Boblin two.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then Roblin?
Nope. There's about 32 more before Boblin,
Oh. Okay.
and then Roblin.
Okay. Thank. I'll keep that in mind the next time I see him again.
And you can see like this guy is like for a goblin. Now that you're like looking at him, he's got like hair on the side that's gone gray. He's got like a little gray goatee. He looks fucking crazy.
Hey. Boblin?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna. There might be some trouble, but I like you guys. So. I think you should run.
He looks at you, looks around. Okay. And he turns and starts to walk out the door.
I talk to the boy and ask him, how long have you been here? We're here to help you.
Go ahead and.
I'm just trying to calm him down.
Right, yeah.
Give him some wine to drink so he calms down. Grog.
Hold on. So, for this, I'm just gonna do this. Okay. So, he looks at you.
I'm gonna smile at him.
Oh.
I know it sounds scary, 'cause I'm a half.
So, So he rolled a 19 on his insight check, but because you smile, I'm gonna just have him roll at a disadvantage because that's fucking terrifying having an orc smile at you. And that's not so great. Okay. So he looks at you and he, like, as you smile, he kind of chokes on the wine that you gave him. Goes, I'm sorry, sir. What? What was your question?
How long have you been down here for?
I don't know. He's
Who
probably
brought you here? Was it that goblin?
no. It was a man with red hair.
Was his name Alistair?
I don't know.
But he was a man with red hair.
Uh-huh.
He owns this place?
I don't know.
You don't know? Alright. That's fine.
Well, Sugar Ray, there's your proof.
He's turning people into food.
That's nope. That doesn't pan out.
A boy in a crate in a
He's still alive.
in a cellar.
Why is he still alive?
And the goblin said that there's human.
The goblin's getting away. And you look and he's like about halfway up the stairs.
Goblin. Oh. Oops.
I'm gonna run after him.
Okay. He's gonna use his full movement and dash. So he's 60 feet ahead right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to hold him?
You son of a bitch.
As you run after him.
I'm gonna run.
Mhm.
Use up all my movement, and then I'm gonna use Misty Step.
Oh shit! Okay. So you appear basically right in front of him,
Yeah.
and he runs right into you. Boom! Oh shit! Oh fucking hell! Why?
I'm gonna hold him.
Hold person or grapple?
No, grapple.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. This will be athletics for you.
That's going to be 11.
11. With a natural 13, he manages to kind of nimbly dodge between your legs, and
You son of a bitch.
he keeps running.
Look, Sugar Ray. I have info from the goblin, and there's a kid in a crate in Alistair's place.
Right.
Where do you mean it doesn't pan out?
Why is the kid here? I can't write a report with all this bullshit.
You are the
What
worst
bullshit?
guard ever.
I'm just a guard. I guard the city. This is outside the city, so you guys have to do the work.
I'm going to throw my hand axe at the goblin's leg.
Oh god. All right, go ahead and make a an attack roll. Yeah.
Everything else, too. Oh, how am I supposed to explain this to 33 brothers?
What's the range for your throwing on the?
20.
Make it a disadvantage because he would be at least 30 feet away from you.
Okay. $11.
11. For this guy, that'll just barely hit. So, you go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
9.
9 points of damage. You watch as the.
I'm trying to disable him.
Okay. So for the sake of this, we'll say he falls unconscious as the blunt end hits him in the head.
Good. I'm going to pick up my hand axe and pick up his body and bring it back.
Okay, easy enough. You bring him back.
Alright.
Right, as I was saying. So
Oh, man.
here's what we have. Ready? Let me walk you through the scenario. We have meat pies. We have owl bear meat. We have a child with the meat that was being held by a goblin. So far, 2 laws. However, what is he doing with the children? And where's the fucking meat coming from?
goblin.
Oh, I'm gonna tie him up first. With
Okay.
my rope.
Okay.
So he's tied up now, and I'm gonna use lay hands on.
All right.
I'm just gonna heal him for 1, so he's awake.
Okay. So he's conscious now with 1 hit point. Ah! Oh shit.
Hey, Boblin. Sorry, try to warn ya, but there's been some complications. So, what has Alistar been paying you to do?
Cut up the meats.
Alright, and then I tell this to Shigure. Have you cut up human meat before?
Yes.
And then I tell this to Shigure.
And then we ask him,
And then-
where does he get the meat from?
Well, from
Where does he get the meat from?
I thought you met Boblin and Boblin. No, did you? You
Oh.
met them.
I
I
didn't.
I get right.
And then,
I get it from them, and we're part of the Pudex clan.
the next clan.
clan?
Okay.
Pudex. Pudhex.
And then I tell Shigure.
Okay. She kind of takes her hand, pushes her hair back out of her face, and starts to tie it up. She pulls out 1 set of handcuffs, or manacles, excuse me.
Wait, hold on. I gave him a deal.
Wait.
If he promised me to tell all this information, as long as no harm comes to him.
Right, and no harm will come to him.
But he's a goblin. You know what we do to goblins.
We slay them.
Make a persuasion check.
$19?
She puts the manacles away. Fine. Ask him
You also
if
said this was out of the city, so
ask
this is
him
information that we're giving you.
ask him if he kills humans here. Ask him if he's ever killed a human, and as long as he hasn't, he may go.
Uh-oh. Hey, Boblin?
Yeah.
Have you killed humans here?
Here? No.
Alright, he says no.
Where?
He has not killed humans here.
But he
That's
said
all I
he's killed
say.
humans. He said he's killed humans before.
He did not.
Oh, he cut them up.
He said he doesn't kill humans here, but he cut them up. So,
Just not here.
just not here.
Where?
You asking him this, Dan?
Do I want to ask him this? I don't know. I kind of don't feel like it, because I have an idea. Oh, right, you weren't with us.
Also, I just don't know what
Most
your
of
idea
us-
is.
Most of us, or all of us, kind of know where all this is from. We've been there.
Oh,
Almost died there.
Wait, why can't
We
we just,
didn't die there. Huh?
why can't we just tell her?
Yeah, I guess.
You guys have a lot of secrets that you don't want to tell me.
Robin, but
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell her, I don't know any of these secrets, I just people.
hi, Lawmaster Aldar,
Eldar.
gave us a task to get a writ to the Shishinayos. The task was to go down into the sewers and take care of some goblin business.
Right.
Alright? While we were there, we found a bunch of dead bodies, humankinds and some bugbears, some all of those stuff. Owlbears? Owlbears, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Boblin here is telling me that he's in the same clan as the goblins we met down there. So that's where he's been getting his meat from.
All right. Now, what are they doing with the children? Or the humans? She looks at the boy.
I'm gonna guess turn into meat. Hey, where did this kid come from, Boblin?
So, well, okay. Alistair brings us the humans, and we bring him the meats.
Oh, so he's saying Alistair brings them the humans, and the goblins give him the meat. So there you go. Alistair's the one wrong in this.
So he lied to us.
So he did lie to us.
Burn everything down.
No, actually, I kind of like this place. Feels homey. It's kind of cold. Can I go back upstairs? Can Boblin come with me? Is that all the information you need? What else do you need?
I'm holding Boblin.
That's all I need. You may go.
Okay. Awesome.
So, are you, Guthrak, are you still holding Boblin? Grapple or hold?
Is Shigure convinced?
She is. She's begrudgingly letting Boblin go.
Alright. Then I'll untie him.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going upstairs. I guess Boblin's following me. Can we heal him up to full or something? I wanted to trip on a rock and die on me. I like him. And I don't think his brothers would like it if he dies. I think.
I'll heal him for one more hit point.
Okay. He's at 2 hit points.
Alright, once... Are we up?
Yeah, you guys have made your way up. Shigure is still kind of looking around and investigating a bit. Okay.
First level.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
1d8. 4.
4. Okay. You watch as like the blood kind of dries up, and you watch there was a scrape and some like tufted hair that kind of heals up, and you can see his hands are still red, but it kind of dries up. It looks like he hadn't really been taking care of himself that well, so whatever little ailments he had have kind of healed up from your cure wounds here.
Right,
Oh,
get
thank
outta
you
here,
so
Boblin.
much. Can I get a ride back to the city?
Sure.
And he looks around and, is that the cart? Do I get in the cart?
You can get in the cart.
He runs and hops in the cart. Shigure steps out of the little house, the shed. There we go. And she goes, "All right, let's go. I need to report this."
So,
But first, before we go,
are there any laws about bringing a goblin into the city?
Yes. You might want to drop him off just on the outside before we enter.
I'm setting the house on fire.
So, just so we know...
Shit. Okay.
Wait, don't... Are we good to, take Alistair's stuff? Is he branded criminal now? Because,
It's
there's
part of
some
my,
pretty
it's
good
part of
stuff
my
in there.
paladin.
It'll
Yeah,
be
do it.
it'll be up to Eldar, but and she stops mid sentence. So, Guthrak, what are you doing?
I'm lighting a torch and I'm throwing it into the house.
Okay. You guys watch as
Wait,
A-
I
a
gotta go
s-
grab some farmer's tools.
okay.
Put them on the cart.
Okay. Sugar, what the fuck?
Vengeance.
Fuck, not in the city. Not my problem. Not my problem.
Got-
Oosa.
I got some farmer tools.
And she kind of just turns and starts to walk towards the city.
So, is it like a shovel, a rake, a pitchfork?
For this, you go ahead and roll a investigation check for me, because you're gonna very quickly grab some stuff.
14.
14.
Investigation.
We'll say you managed to grab a rake, a shovel, and a like two small hand axes.
Huh. Okay, I'm adding that to the cart inventory.
Okay.
We have the little boy with us, right?
We'll say for the purpose of this, you've escorted the little boy to the cart.
Nice.
And he, as he's sitting in the cart, he watches you just light this house on fire, and then he kind of like sinks and kind of curls up into the meat sinew.
So, any of the vegetables worth harvest? Nah, I'll save it for another day.
It does smell delicious, and you hear the faint popping of corn.
Wait, is everything burning?
The house is caught on fire, and as you guys are watching, the
Oh no, wait, I'm having flashbacks. I'm having PTSD from months ago. Oh no.
Sarah, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Are they back? Is it the invisible spirits again? Wisdom saving 11 plus 1, 12.
Okay, so for the sake of this, we'll say you resist your PTSD, and you don't seize up for a minute. But you watch as the flames get nestled by the wind and taken to the house is nearby the plot of land that farms. So you watch as the embers start to,
Oh no.
and you see just little bits of smoke from inside the farmed from the crops.
Oh no. Is it? It's not spraying to the tree line, is it?
Just the crop line.
Okay,
It looks
thank
like.
God.
No
The last
mercy
time
for the wicked.
we tried to do something, we burnt out the whole forest. I'm pretty sure Edmar and Charles were there.
They were there for it, yeah.
Wait, no, we weren't.
I don't remember this.
Well, we were.
It was like
but my character
months
wasn't
ago.
there.
You're,
Trajan remembers it, but he's not here.
Our characters weren't there.
God,
The forest is
damn
fine.
it.
I feel at home.
God, that was months ago. We burnt down a giant forest and got attacked by invisible thingies.
I don't
Hey,
think
don't we have a?
that far.
Hey, don't we have a?
It was actually about 7 days ago.
Oh, so I remember it freshly.
Yep.
Damn.
It's like 7-8 days ago. At this point.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Well, as long as it's not burning the tree line.
well, so
Yes,
the
it's fine, I
the
guess.
majority of the like what's surrounding the farm here is about a mile of crop in either direction, in any direction.
Okay, so I'm not freaking out, but that's a lot of crop.
Yep.
That's
And then it's meadows after that.
actually no. When he's got 5 gold now, as the if he comes back, actually no, we just left him with
We're
nothing.
finding him. We're getting that gold back, and I'm cutting his head.
The crops aren't just like. It's not like, he plants the crops and makes money, and then the crops disappear into thin air.
But we could have used that, I think.
The
Sell
city
it.
could have used that, I think.
Yeah. Right, Shiguri?
There are other farms.
She's still just walking. She's well ahead of you guys right now.
All right.
Well, guess
We're
we're
getting
going
back
in.
to the city.
So you guys take some time. You make your way back to the city.
Off, a little outskirts, a little bit away.
He hops out. It was great to meet you all. Goodbye. And
See
he
you, bye,
runs.
man.
You see him run around the side of the city and jump into a sewer. As you make your way in, you make your way over. Where you headed?
Oh, the Law Masters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Right. I think Shiguri wants to report.
yep. So Shigure meets you at the Law Masters,
We'll
and
be there too, because we finished our task.
I mean,
Yep.
we all came together. She's in
Mhm.
the cart with us.
Yeah.
she was walking ahead. She's
She didn't want to ride in the cart.
no, she's a little upset at this point.
Well, yeah, you burned down the house.
No way.
So
We
she
had it coming.
she walks inside, and you see her as you guys are entering. She's talking to Aldar, and you see her walk away. And as she's walking out, she gives Abby a wink, or sorry, Inyur a wink, and keeps walking.
Okay, what about me?
You don't deserve it.
Bye, Sugar Ray. I'll see you later.
Fuck you!
I don't know what wink means, so I'm just like,
Hey, what time? I'm at the entrances in.
She's gone.
You should
How many
offer
times?
some bottled water.
As Reginald, you know me. He'll treat you well.
I just thought she had some dust in her eyes, so I was like, that's too bad.
As you're yelling out,
Guys,
Serum, you hear, "Oi, fuckface, get up here!"
Oh boy. Who?
Alright.
Me?
All
Or
of
the
us.
rest of us?
All of us.
So,
Can I have my talisman back now?
well, you solved the case of the meat, I suppose.
And your goblin problem too. So
Right.
I mean,
What?
is the bag still on the table?
The bag is still on the table, and it's
I
kind of
point to the bag. See. So technically, we were already on this task from day one.
right. So, and he takes out a ledger. So, you owe me 1,000 gold pieces. I owe you 2,000 gold pieces, plus damages. And that comes out to 500 gold pieces for you. Here you go. And he drops 500 gold on the table, throws you back the talisman.
Sweet. Now to find that son of a bitch, Alistair.
So you gonna put a bounty on Alistair?
No.
No. Why?
What's the fucking
could-
point?
He
You guys
could be-
burned down his fucking house.
He could be on the loose still. We didn't
Can't-
know.
What's he gonna do?
Capturing more people.
Capture more people and kill them and sell them into food for banner snatches.
That's
You ever
fine.
had one of their meat pies? You could have been eating human.
No,
or owl.
never.
Oh.
Never.
I roll insight.
You're supposed to say, do I believe him? And then I tell you to roll an insight check. But sure.
He's got a point.
18.
18. He is lying through his fucking teeth.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh,
I just say,
was
bullshit.
Kaiba still here when we got here?
Get the fuck out of my law office, you fucking Montebags.
Wait, but you had one more task for us.
The
Out
Seven Isles.
now,
Maybe
fuckfaces.
that's it. Hey, Lionheart, remember my name. Lionheart. I'm leaving.
You're not supposed to tell them who you are. Aren't you wanted in the city?
It's not as
Oh wait, no, I don't know that. Never mind.
You don't know.
Breaking
Oh,
the
you know, my name is Lionheart.
You said it.
Yeah, you did.
You just said it. I recognize the name, being the drunk I am.
At this point, 3 guards come and kind of escort you guys out.
Hey, we'll be back. Season Isles, we got this for you.
Oh, I hope to God you fuckers die.
Hey, if you hope, can we at least get Kaiba? Aodar? Anyone?
The guards just shh.
blindness, deafness on Zerum here.
Hey, why?
Go.
Spelling was being
What is that? A wisdom save?
It's a con save.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What's the DC?
14.
Can I use
Okay.
Mage Hand to just cover up his mouth?
I mean, you can both do both of those things if you want.
I feel like wait, why am I being ganged up on? I'm not the one who friggin' burned the house.
That
Yeah, you're not
So
open
first, roll your
15 plus 1, 16.
okay, and then as you feel this, your vision and your hearing kind of start to go away, and you shake yourself out of it,
Thank
and you feel a hand just come and cover your mouth.
Nice.
you.
We'll be going now.
Aha. And as you guys step out, it is now just about dawn.
Should probably go sleep.
Mm.
So, with that, you guys make your way. Where are you headed?
How long does Mage Hand last?
I think it's like 10 minutes or an hour,
Hmm.
if I remember right.
What, a short rest?
No, Mage Hand. Mage Hand.
Oh, 1 minute.
Is it 1 minute? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
All right. So by the time you make it outside, it disappears.
I hate you. I hate all that.
So, where are you guys headed?
I'm going to the sewers.
I'm going back to the
I'm going to the Enchantress's curse.
This,
Okay. So you two are
I'm gonna
headed.
do a side task.
Okay. So is anyone else headed anywhere else?
No.
So we
You
have.
guys just gonna stand there at the Lawmaster's house?
No, they're. I'm assuming they're going with you guys to the curse.
Oh, okay.
All right, Serum, what are you doing?
Hey, Robin. 30. The 5th, 4th. And Robin, you guys here?
You. We'll say for the sake of this, you'd spend the better part of an hour, and you're able to find them. Hey, boss. What's going on? Boblin is exactly where you left him.
Oh, huh. You're still here, huh?
Found more jerky.
So, I think you guys should hide, run away.
What do you mean, boss?
Big Dragon Man knows where you guys are, and he might be coming down.
Why? Why? How? What?
Just
Who?
run, hide,
Where?
in order. Back at the abandoned city. Seal up the hole if you have to, or at least.
Okay. Bye, boss.
If we meet again, and I hope we meet again.
He picks you up, squishes you into a bear hug, and then turns around and starts to walk, with you still in a
Good
bear
luck.
hug.
Oh, wait, you gotta let me go.
Oh, right. He lets you go. You drop about 2 feet. And he just kind of keeps walking over you as you lay there.
Bye.
Bye!
Tell Big Boss I said bye.
Okay.
If we ever meet again, may it be in happier times.
He walks away.
Alright, I'm out.
Alright.
Peace, Enchantress.
Alright. You guys make it back to the Enchantress Curse, and Reginald is there as you guys all enter. Well, fucking shite. Y'all made it out.
Hey. I'm going to bed.
I'm gonna grab a bottle of wine as I go. Wait, I don't even have a room. I need a room.
Right. That'll be,
I don't know this guy.
uh...
Do I know he put a spell over me?
Yeah, you'd
It
be...
wasn't a hidden spell.
No, yeah,
Okay.
you'd know.
Yeah, I don't know this guy, and I just walk upstairs.
Right. That'll be, 3 gold for the night, sir.
So 30 silver pieces.
That's super high.
And 4 gold for the wine.
And wait, what?
Or, sorry, 4 silver for the wine.
All right, another 4 silver.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I head up to my room and I chug the bottle and I go.
Okay.
I also knock out.
Okay. You guys each have an hour or so if you want to do anything.
Have what?
You guys roughly have an... Huh?
Long rest.
This'll be a long rest that's coming up.
Oh. Aye.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Anyone else doing anything?
Nope.
Okay. As you
Long
guys,
rest
go to lay down, most of you find rest and sleep. Therion, as you lay down and you stare straight ahead, You feel a faint presence sitting at the edge of your bed. You look. There's nothing there. You feel a tug on the back of your head. You turn to look. There's no one there. You hear the rolling of dice in the far corner. You look, and there's no one there. As you look around the room, go ahead and make a perception check.
Spooky. Ghost.
Too spoopy.
14.
14. You look around, you don't see anyone. But it does bring you back. Back to when you were on the streets, near the market, climbing up and watching that one particular individual. You stared at him for hours and hours and hours, and you practiced every single day so that you could one day impress him. You look inside of your pouch and pull out your deck of cards. You flip the card over. It's the Joker. As you look at the card, it spins around and floats in the air. You see it tick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it stops. You watch as your book opens and bits of writing start to appear on the page. As you read it, the story is ever so familiar. And as the writing stops, the Joker card falls as a bookmark. The book closes. And you hear a faint voice go, "Luck favors the bold. Take fate into your own hands." That's it.
Nerd.
Do you want to do anything before bed?
You should probably take fate into your own hands.
Fate is what he's named his penis, because it's all dick jokes.
I'll give us a short prayer for good luck, and then
Edmar peaced out.
Okay. Alright, and with that, we'll go ahead and end the session here. Stop.